Hey Spuddies, PotatoMcWhiskey here and welcome back to Let's Play Civilization 6 as Persia. In the process of building up a nice big army up here near Athens, got quite a few troops streaming in and we've got many more on the way. Current goal for this episode is to at least get the war with Greece started. I'm not sure how much more military I should build, but I'm just going to keep throwing out military so that we can just completely swarm down Greece and then we'll maybe transition into culture a little bit more. Managed to grab our very first Inquisitor. Now there is a couple of apostles around that might cause me a bit of trouble, but Inquisitors are actually fairly good at fighting, especially in the city that Moksha is established in. Let's just keep stealing money from the Greeks. I just want to get as much money in the bank as possible. I have plenty stored up, which will allow me to purchase maybe some archaeological museums and, archaeologists to start getting a lot of culture on the go. I will accept your gifts. Thank you very, very much. So they're building an encampment right here, so I'm going to stand one of my units on that tile to prevent them from being able to fully finish the campus, or the encampment rather. And if they do finish it, I'll be in position to pillage it ahead of time. I've also got a pike and shot over here that I should really take out. Time to run an inquisition on my capital city. At long last, it now has a majority of my own personal religion, and I'll be able to start cleaning up some of this other stuff as well. A couple of people did point out to me that I should buy this iron over here that I completely missed actually as I was playing. But now we have it and we'll be able to improve it and get a bunch of production out of that. Let's see if we can't maybe settle over here to grab this lovely iron right here and all of these nice olive tiles. Although, yeah, probably the safest spot is right there. Lovely, another gift from Arabia. Thank you very much, my dear friend. And Japan as well, thank you so much. Our coffers will be overflowing with the gifts and the war shall rage on. Okay, excellent. We have expert marksman now on one of my crossbowmen, which will get me a little bit of era score from leveling him up. But more importantly, it means he can shoot twice and he will soon become a field cannon, which is very important as well. I mean, if we had had a desert city this game, we could definitely build a Petra, because we can build it in 13 turns. We just never really hit anything resembling a desert city, so I never had an opportunity to build it. Now, Taj Mahal is something I could build as well. I'm genuinely tempted by it. Genuinely tempted to build Taj Mahal. Just casually moving all of my units towards Athens to see if we can take it out. I think we'll skip. I guess we kind of have to kill everything, don't we? Which means Preslav might have to die. And Preslav is a good spot, maybe for a Petra. 1 shot, 2 shots, 3 shots. Oh man, I think I'm going to focus on the city. We're only taking little nibbles out of it for now, but more importantly, we're getting some good experience on these guys so that when they become field cannons, they'll be able to do a lot more damage to the city. First bombard is rolling out of Sparta now, and it's starting to get a little bit congested in the reinforcement department, but we shall figure that out, no problem. Let's go ahead and get a couple of these lumber mills up while we're working on it, I suppose. Yeah, it's definitely starting to get a bit congested in here. So this trader that I have coming, this guy right here, could not get here any faster. Ideally, it would be, or I would like him to be there sooner, is what I'm trying to say. I don't know, maybe I misspoke there. But this bombard will be taking priority. It does have a promotion, which we're going to want to give it in a moment. And of course, in Sparta, what we'll do is we'll production save for a turn so we can get started on another bombard. I'm probably going to cancel this catapult for a second while I wait for that. Time to get the industrial zone in here, I think. While we just do a little bit of reorganization. Alright, so we have a fully built holy site over here in Tushpa. Let's get to work on the amphitheater so we can just go straight for the Archaeological Museum once we have natural history. Let's use this musketman to take out this pike and shot. We'll have to get to work on... I don't know if I want to liberate Jerusalem or keep it for myself. I'll think about that one. Alright, let's go ahead and run an Inquisition in Susa. There we go. That city is now fully converted. We'll be able to get another... Oh, my capital lost my religion somehow. Let's see if we can't get that back. Do have a couple of missionaries hanging in the wings. I'm going to need another one. I'm going to keep this Inquisitor charge as well, just in case. Got to watch out if this is the only place I can really recruit my own religion. So yes, I am spreading it back, but I need to keep an eye on this and prevent it from getting captured. Too bad I cannot condemn the heretics from the Netherlands. How do they have so much faith? Like, how much faith per turn are you generating that you're able to spam out these guys? We're only making 171 faith per turn. Like, I'm really surprised by that, just considering the sheer amount of apostles that she has been sending at me through the entire game. Let's go ahead and declare a friendship with Arabia. I thought I had done this recently, but maybe I hadn't. probably a mistake on my part, but we definitely want to be in an alliance with him. In particular, a military alliance, so we get the nice benefit of the 15% war production and the 5 combat strength against people we are both at war with. In fact, you can see that there. Very nice. There's even a potential free settler here. However, I am going to move these crossbowmen back this turn to get promoted into field cannons next turn. I'm going to have this musketman take up the vigil on the encampment and then look to combine some more of my musketmen together. Excellent. We get a nice combination there. We've got the crossbowman corps. They're ready to battle in the next turn. Let's make our way towards shells on this bombard. That's the most important thing. And we'll go ahead and pick up ourselves another bombard. I could, in theory, purchase this bombard if I really wanted to save a bit of time. And you know what? I'm not against that idea. Yeah, I'll spend 1,000 gold on purchasing a bombard here just to get it a little bit sooner. Because once, like, having one bombard is nice, but once you have 2, the game really changes. Now, we just finished natural history and we're getting a ton of gold from the AI from running their gifts. So let's go ahead and purchase some of these amphitheaters. Although this one is being hard built, so I'll skip out on that one, but I can get an archaeologist in here, for example. Over here in Pasargadae, how close am I to a great artist? I'm actually not that far away, but I'm not really looking for a great artist. So let's go ahead and purchase the Archaeological Museum. We'll also grab ourselves another archaeologist in here. And you know what? I'm kind of tempted to just buy like the lighthouse here to get the extra trade route and then just buy the trader as well. And I suppose, like, the capital city could really use all of these things, so I may as well buy like the whole lot just to make this into a powerhouse city. We're going to get a lot more gold from this emergency, so I'm not too worried about it. There's still 15 turns remaining, and I think I've already made like 10,000 gold off it. Let's get to work on conservation. That's going to allow us to place forests. More importantly, it's also going to give us a benefit from building walls, which is going to be something that I focus on. Unfortunately, this game, I did unlock civil engineering before I built my walls, which means I'm not going to get the 100% production bonus to walls, but I'll still get a lot of value out of it. For now, I'm going to hold on to my envoys, just in case Antananarivo gets grabbed away from me again. Finally, we have our very own source of iron. It's our very first source, and I think I'm actually going to use one Filippo Brunelleschi's charge here on the Ruhr Valley, because if I get this Ruhr Valley, I can go ahead and build the Eiffel Tower here, and possibly even the Cristo Redentor, which are going to be 2 really, really important wonders to getting enough culture to be able to win this game, because I do have actually a fair amount of coastline that I can make use of. Yeah, I totally had planned to put my dam here, but kind of messed it up. It's not a big deal. All right, let's go ahead and take the disguise promotion on this guy. He did steal a bit of cash from me. We're also going to plug him into Sparta and see if we can't do the mission that gives us diplomatic visibility. Once your spy is of a certain level, I can't remember what level it is, maybe it's secret agent. Once your spy is a certain level, you will actually get 2 levels of diplomatic visibility, and so that would constitute a pretty nice diplomatic visibility combat strength swing in the war against Greece. Right, there is ballistics, which is fantastic. That's going to allow me to upgrade the knight as well as these 2 crossbowmen. First things first, let's go ahead and get you upgraded to a field cannon and you upgraded to a field cannon. Excellent, so we've got our 2 main battlers upgraded. I would like to upgrade this knight as well, but I need to have a little bit more iron. Oh, actually, apparently the knight upgrade doesn't take any iron at all. So I'll just pop you back there and I'll upgrade you next turn. We've got another musketman corps and another crossbowman swinging up, as well as a whole bunch of units. The road is almost up to here, just needs 2 more turns, and then the road to Halicarnassus will be finished, and we won't have this huge traffic jam going on in here as it is happening right now. Very happy that I thought about putting that road in. I could have maybe fed a few more units through this pathway through the city-state borders, which is the way some of my units are going, in particular the ones from Bactria and stuff like that. Also, I have access to horses now as well, so I may as well get my hand on some coursers to sort of, I'm just trying to fill out my army with as much stuff as possible. Now, we do have an awful lot of artifacts around, but I'm going to prioritize getting artifacts from my allies' borders and stuff like that, because those are the ones that I'm going to have a harder time getting, where it's easier to get the ones that are inside my borders, but it will be harder to get the ones inside other people's borders. So effectively, I'm kind of saying, yeah, it's better to steal before you get your own resources, you know what I mean? I can actually get myself another archaeological museum over here in Agai, and I think I will get myself an archaeological museum and an archaeologist. That'll give me another, I think I'm up to 9 archaeological great works. There's Not a whole lot over here, nor here, nor here. It looks like the majority of them are concentrated around here and stuff. This is where a lot of barbarian activity was, so I guess that kind of makes sense. But yeah, I'm going to send them off to try and steal the stuff that's further away as soon as I can. And I believe you'll be heading over here to go ahead and pick up a few more horses for me. Second bombard is ready and on the way. Now that we can purchase archaeological museums and archaeologists, I think it's time we got our theatre squares up. This isn't an amazing theatre square spot right here, but it's an acceptably good one. It's a +1 adjacency covering a tile that isn't too important. Getting to flight is pretty important for me, as is getting to radio. Those are going to be two things that we work on next. I'm also going to need to start building a few campuses, which is partially why I built up this campus over here. And because we're going to need quite a bit of science to be able to get all the way up to steel and radio and all these sort of late game techs that are important for a culture victory. Something to consider at this point in the game is it's probably a good idea to start trading with every other AI. So let's go ahead and have a look at the victory track and check who we are currently trading with. I don't think we're trading with anyone. Oh, we're actually trading with Movember and Arabia and the Netherlands, actually, surprisingly. I wasn't expecting that. They must have trade routes with me. I'm not trading with Hojo, however. Well, I suppose then, if we're already trading with a bunch of these people, we may as well just trade for gold value, which will end up paying off itself very nicely. One more turn until the Ruhr Valley is completed. I really hope I don't get one turned on that. And we'll settle this city right here before this privateer can get over and sail our guy. We also settled right beside the natural wonder, the Pantanal, which is a very nice natural wonder. In fact, I think it can be turned into a national park, right? I believe it has, yep, it has high enough appeal. We'll be able to put a national park here, provided we ever get enough faith to do that. You know what? I'm just not going to deal with this barbarian encampment. I'm going to purchase it to get rid of it. And then I suppose what we'll do in here is just get to work on ancient walls and immediately work this mine tile to try and get this cleaned up as well. Right, time to do a listening post here in Sparta so that we can get extra diplomatic visibility with Greece and be able to attack them more easily. Ruhr Valley is completed and it'll give us a 20% production to this city and +1 production for each mine and quarry in the city. That's brilliant. This city already had a really good production line, but now it's up to 65 production per turn, and the mines in this city are very, very nice. I will want to turn this into a mine as well if I can. A mine here, a mine here. Man, yeah, that's about all of the mines I can find. I do need to clear out some of this stuff though, in the meantime. With the completion of the Ruhr Valley in here, I'm going to hard build the Archaeological Museum. This city has enough production to where I can justify hard building it, whereas another city doesn't really have that kind of production. Right, so I have one archaeologist heading over here to the Congo to steal his great works. I have two heading down south to steal the ones from Arabia, so I'll probably go here. I'll go to this one, I'll go to this one, and then I'll make my way down to here to see if I can nab that one there. And then this guy is going to come down here and see if he can grab these two, and probably plus like this one right here or something. Yeah. Right, factory done in Zaranka. Let's get to work on the amphitheater. It's important that we get our archaeological museums up so we can get as many of those great works of archaeology as possible. Gordian completed its ancient walls. I'll just grab a monument and then go for medieval walls as well, because you can get a little bit of tourism from them. Hagmatana has its amphitheater up. Let's get the medieval walls up for the little bit of extra tourism. Right, time to move the field cannon back in range of Athens and start taking shots. You can see now we're doing a very significant amount of damage compared to before. Move in the crossbowmen, get them upgraded. The road is almost ready, just so close. And then we can actually clear out this traffic jam of units that's going on over here. Of course, my catapults or my bombards will be taking priority. So I wish I could move you out of the way. Bombards get priority because they're the most important thing for taking down cities. I may as well combine some of these units together actually to maybe cool down the whole difficulty in the traffic jam. Probably want to combine these two pike and shot as well actually, now that I think about it. Third spy is online and I'm trying to think who would he be best used against. It's probably going to be Movember, so any way that I can hurt Movember will be a benefit to me because he is the second most difficult person to deal with from a cultural standpoint. So if I can start stealing some of his money, that'll boost me up and hurt his economy. Almost safe to start attacking Athens in melee combat, but we'll give it another turn or two. Actually, I managed to get a pillage there, which is quite nice. And I got a cuirassier upgrade. Very happy with the current standing of my army. Starting to get a very, very nice army together, and we'll start pushing into Gorgo here in the next few turns. Get that mine online over here in Taxila, so that we can build these ancient walls a little bit quicker, and as well get a little bit of extra iron for ourselves. Got plenty of coal in the bank. I should maybe sell some of that off. Let's go ahead and see if Arabia would like to buy a bit more. Looks like they won't pay quite as much. Perhaps the Congo will pay for it. Yeah, there we go. 10 gold per turn for 20 coal. That seems like a pretty reasonable deal. One of my units was captured by a barbarian, and Wilhelmina wants an aid request. I'm going to vote that up, because if the AI is wasting their time doing that, then they're not doing things that'll make it harder for me to win the game. Now, a privateer did come in here and steal this builder, which is painful, but it's not the end of the world. We'll be able to get that back, hopefully, if we have a unit in the area, and it looks like we do have a chariot who could take up the mantle once we have enough iron. Amphitheater done up here in Susa. Let's go ahead and purchase the Archaeological Museum and another archaeologist. Archaeologist? Archaeologist? Let's go ahead and keep these boys moving. Let's do some combinations here to make sure that we're kind of reducing the amount of this just sheer blockery that's going on. Okay, let's take some shots at Athens. I believe Athens will fall now. Thank you very much for the city. All right, Athens now belongs to me. We can start combining a few more units. Oh, not enough gold. I spent all my money. That's a bit unfortunate. Oh, well. You got to spend it on something, you know? You can't take it to the grave, would you? I think this is a big enough army to get enough momentum to do enough damage to Greece. So I don't think we'll be really building much more in terms of a military. We do have to worry about how many grievances we're getting against them. Let's get to work on the Hermitage. I'm not sure if we'll even ever finish it, but I'll give it a good go. Similarly over here, I'm going to get to work on the Taj Mahal once I'm finished this Archaeological Museum. Let's go ahead and hard build the Archaeological Museum. That's going to be a main source of our culture this game. Or not culture, tourism rather. Industrial zone finished in here, which is pretty important because this city does not have a whole lot of production, so we'll slowly build ourselves an aqueduct. This city definitely needs some tile improvements. It kind of crushed any tile that was of any value. A lot of flat land around here. Most of its production is coming from the factory that's stationed nearby. Really looking forward to getting a hold of James Watt. That's going to bounce up a huge amount of production in my empire. Let's go ahead and repair the monument in Athens. I'm not sure if I want to send an army up here to Miletos. I might go up there later. I'm still not sure if I want to fully kill Greece or if I want to just be a little bit more, just completely cripple their empire down to where they don't make much culture. I'll probably go that route, maybe take out all of their sort of capital cities. Although, on the other hand, they have built a lot of wonders, and if I could take all those, it would be a big boon for me. Time to excavate our very first artifact, and it is going to be a Congolese artifact from the classical era. Very, very nice. We can start filling out this and actually start generating some tourism, because God knows we do not have much tourism as it currently stands. Time to purchase our second Inquisitor so that we can start cleaning up our religion. It's slowly starting to look a little bit more reasonable. But we've still got plenty of work to do down here in the south and east and west and pretty much every direction that isn't right here in the middle of my empire. Alright, Congo wants me to move my archaeologist. I'm going to tell him no. Picked up about 1800 gold this turn from the nice people of the other empires who are doing those wonderful aid projects. So let's go ahead and just get a hold of some upgraded field cannons and all that sort of jazz. Lovely, lovely, lovely. I think it's about time I started to do a little bit of forward-thinking planning with regards to what I'm going to do Paradisa-wise. And I think I'm going to put some Paradisas here in this sort of a formation and then put a holy site in the center. And the idea here is because the Paradisa, because it gets +1 culture from adjacent holy sites and theatre squares, I'm going to want to put them beside them as a priority because it gets tourism converted from the culture it yields. So if I can get these placed in a kind of matrix around these important districts, I'll get a lot of extra benefit from them. So this is the current layout for this city, which is a very nice thing. Similarly, over here, we've got a theatre square going down. So I'm going to put a Paradisa there. and a Paradisa there. And then I'll be able to put a holy site there as well, just to maximize how much value we're getting from the Paradisas. I will have to buy that tile, but it's not too far away, and I don't think it's that much of a stretch to be able to pull this off. Now, there is a little bit of misfortune here, because I have kind of not been placing my districts thinking of the Paradisa later on down the line. So I'm not going to get total efficiency out of it, but I think it'll be of a reasonable level of efficiency. For example, over here, I'll be able to get a good couple of Paradisas, although actually, now that I look at it, I already have one there, so it'd probably be better to put one right there. Now, Ray and Tarsus haven't placed their holy sites or their theatre squares, so if we work together on this, we can actually get quite an efficient lattice of Paradisas and holy sites and all that sort of stuff. So since this Paradisa is already here, we'll take this as the beginning of the lattice. So we'll put a theatre square there, I suppose, and then surround it with Paradisas, and that'll be the sort of first crystal in the lattice, right? Hopefully that makes sense. Another theatre square could fit right here from Tarsus. Then if I put a holy site right here, that'll fit into the lattice, and this quarry will have to be replaced at a later date. And then if I put Ray's holy site over here, it'll boost 2 different Paradisas. Over here we've got ourselves another theatre square, so let's go ahead and do this. Now the fact that this is here makes me want to move this, although this is already here, so I tell you what, I could redo this and just put it right there in conjunction with this one. Then at a later date I could pop a holy site right there and surround that in Paradisas as well. And the idea is to just try and surround these things. Now this is actually potentially a very good what's the word? You know, the thing that you put on coastal for tourism? Seaside resort. But I think this is also a perfectly reasonable way to do things. So we're just kind of planning out the crystal structure, quote unquote crystal structure of the empire. That's the way I like to think of it. I like to think of it as we're trying to maximize how much efficiency we can get out of something. Over here, there's going to be another option for a few of these lovely little Paradisas surrounding a theatre square, as well as a holy site. Now in Pella, I do plan to build the Eiffel Tower here, at the very least. So let me go ahead and plug that tile down so I don't cover that in another plan. I'll come back to these cities and make a decision about them. But for example, up here, I'd really like to place a Paradisa here, and a Paradisa here. And these are sort of long-term-ish plans, so let's go ahead and just make sure we own both of those tiles, because that would hurt my plans if I didn't own both of those tiles. There's a holy site up here, so that means there's got to be a Paradisa going right there. Very nice. Not ideal, but it's workable. Similarly, if I put a theatre square right here, over in Tiahidrahia, I will put a couple of Paradisas adjacent to it, so they can get the nice benefit as well. So I think we've efficiently laid out a whole bunch of these. It's going to make watching the video a little bit difficult until I start filling those out, which I will start doing. I will start, basically, once Halicarnassus is finished, I'll be pumping out builders. And I've already got a few builders sort of in the area looking to start doing this sort of a thing. But we'll slowly start converting our empire over to this. We'll place a holy site in here and all that sort of jazz. So we conquered Athens. Let's go ahead and take the couple of promotions that we have, and then have these units heal up, and then get ourselves in position to begin the fight for Jerusalem. Keep moving these units up. There's not a whole lot of room through here, though, is a bit of a problem. Add another artifact for my collection, and this one will be from the long defunct and dead Alexander. I actually kind of forgot that I'd murdered him. Let's keep grabbing some artifacts from over here as well. I'll grab another Alexander artifact. Good to get them because they're going to be in limited supply. Right, so the mission of listening post in Sparta was successful, which means now we have a higher level of diplomatic visibility with Gorgo. We have access level none, which is fine because it's more important that she also has none, because she used to have the advantage. I could take a moment and go research the printing technology, and I could research that faster if I swing in over to Bactry and then go ahead and purchase the university, and I'll get that in 3 turns. And this will give me +1 level of diplomatic visibility against Gorgo, which should hopefully result in me having a diplomatic visibility advantage over her. But anyway, we finished that mission, so let's go ahead and start stealing great works or money. And I think I'm going to steal money. I could steal the prince. Now, what is the prince? The Prince is a great work of writing, and I suppose, you know what? I'll take any opportunity to get great works. It's only a 75% chance, but that's still a good amount. Now, on the other hand, in Gnosis, I'm going to take it a little bit safer and just siphon funds, because the higher success rate, this guy's a little bit greener and has no promotion, so we'll just play it safe with him. Right, I will purchase an archaeological museum over here in Tushpa. Now, unfortunately, I can't afford to purchase the archaeologist as well, but I will just slowly build him in here. It'll take about 15 turns, which isn't that long, but it is quite a while. Especially when you consider I'd love to be building stuff like the ancient medieval walls and all that sort of stuff. Right, it's time to convert back 3 with an Inquisitor. There we go. Instantaneously now follows my religion. Very happy about that one. Starting to get a nice core cities going here that have my religion. Hopefully that is starting to mean that there's a little bit more of my religious pressure in the center here, which is going to result in me having a majority and not having to rely so much on sort of the active pressure spreading. Right, let's steal a great work from Arabia. I'll take a barbarian artifact. I already have 3 Alexander ones, so it seems a bit redundant to get another one. I'm going to swing down here, see if we can't grab that one. Time to cross the river to Jerusalem. They've got a pike and shot garrison, which shouldn't be too difficult to deal with. Bombards are still a few turns out from joining the front line, but the rest of my army is making good time. So now I'm thinking, if I parked a holy site right there, it would be quite nice because it would be a very good holy site. I could put a Paradisa right here. And right here. And then in Shizuoka, I could even put a holy site right there. Double boost these Paradisas. Get access to another place to put a Paradisa. Over here in Athens, I have a very good opportunity for a triple Paradisa, which is a little bit rare with my current empire setup. It would mean I would have to give up most other things in this city, for example, like the aqueduct and stuff like that I normally like to do. But this city is settled pretty late, so it probably won't be going for an aqueduct and industrial zone. So its job is mostly to generate tourism if it can. And then I suppose if in Shizuoka I put another theater square right there, that would double boost these and open up this as a possibility for another Paradisa as well, forming a nice crystallized sort of lattice of these things. Let's also convert Tiahi Drahia. Didn't quite get the full conversion, but we mostly cleaned it out. It'll start hopefully picking up my religion with the incoming pressure. Now over here in Pushkalavka, for example, if I were to put a theater square on this tile right here, I would have to give up a couple of these really nice seaside resorts to get full Paradisa coverage. So it's far better to put it inland, for example. If I were to put a holy site here, I could get a couple of Paradisas, like so, which is a nice little arrangement that also preserves this whole thing that's going on over there. Just going to place a seaside resort pin in and around here, just so I don't forget exactly what I'd planned to do over here. Another excavated artifact from the Congo. I will take one of yours. And we're starting to slowly fill this stuff up. We've got a little bit going on, not a huge amount. But my tourism number is definitely starting to creep up in a more reasonable manner. We're also going to be getting some medieval walls up as well next turn. And slowly but surely, we're going to push that tourism number up to something where it might get us in the region of maybe having a chance to win the game. Sorry, Arabia, I just can't move my archaeologists anywhere else. I kind of need that tourism. Right, Jerusalem actually took a shot off one of my field cannons and did an awful lot of damage, which I was extremely surprised by. But I suppose this is a basic field cannon and not a, what you call them, an army corps or whatever. But we are getting a couple of shots on the city, stripping down the walls. Let's go ahead and pop these guys to the left and then combine them to keep them safe and heal them up a little bit. Right, bombards are making their way up. It might be a good idea to combine these guys. As much as I wanted multiple bombards, having them combined is pretty important. Also, I should probably get more bombards. Yeah, that seems like a pretty good idea. Building more archaeological museums. And looks like we have medieval walls done. Let's go ahead and research Renaissance walls once we have printing. And then we'll come back for steam power. Now, my capital could build the Statue of Liberty. It would only take 20 turns, which isn't a whole lot of turns for a thingy. On the other hand, I could start spamming out builders and military engineers and stuff like that to get railways. It's a tough choice. Like, we could get a lot of builders in here. I think getting the builders online is pretty important, so I'm going to just build a whole bunch of them in here to start converting over this terrain into something more reasonable. Let's place down the theatre square for Ray. We won't be quite building it just yet. We're going to be waiting until it has a bit more chopping going on and all that sort of stuff. And some of these tiles are improved. Looks like a Greek cavalry army came over here to play. Let's go ahead and get a at least upgraded pikeman to start having a go at him. And we'll start stripping down this improvement as well. I'm not going to go fight him, but I think on the defense we'll have just a fine time, especially if we can maybe get another unit back here to start shooting this guy. Another great artifact stolen from Saladin. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, Arabia. Time to start building up these nice Pyrodizas so we can start deleting some of these pins as well. And we'll pick up another artifact over here from the Congo. Excellent. Starting to build up a very nice collection. We've got 2 from each one, except for this one, which only has 1. So I saved up all my diplomatic points to be able to maybe influence this if it was an important one. The only thing I can think of is wanting to be able to pillage the Protestantism religious units from the Netherlands, because they're the ones I see the most, and I'd be able to farm diplomatic favor from that. So I'll go ahead and vote that in a bunch of times, and hopefully that passes. If it doesn't, I'll just sell my diplomatic favor. And sure, let's go ahead and say we'll take a cultural city-state as the trading target. Excellent. So now we can pillage Protestantism religious units. So let's have a look around for them. There is one over here that we'll be able to nab. Conveniently, there is one right here that we can grab and get ourselves 25 diplomatic favor from. It's exactly what I was hoping for. I only need to pillage like 4 or like 6 of them to get the full value back. But more importantly, it's also going to push his religion back quite a bit. Or her religion back quite a bit. She's a lady. Right, Jerusalem is under siege now. Let's go ahead and start hammering this city. Although this field cannon does have a promotion, I'm going to hold off on promoting it. Let's go ahead and move some more musketmen up. Do the double shot to take a little bit of this city's health away. More importantly, we're stripping down the defenses to almost nothing. And we've almost got our bombard in position. Spend a bit of time healing on you. There is a pike and shot here that we can clean out. Let's get rid of him. I'm going to bring this field cannon back to help deal with this cavalry army that Greece is running around here causing me issues. Working on an amphitheater in Hagmatana, which will be finished in 1 turn thanks to this chop. Archaeological Museum is done in Pella. I'm going to tell them to, well, I guess I could I could purchase the coal power plant, which would net me 10 production per turn, actually 12 because of the multiplier from Bur Valley, and then hard build the archaeologist in 5 turns, which seems like a fairly reasonable way to go about things. Right, first Corsair is done. I'll probably just get him moving over here and use him to start condemning more of these heretics, getting myself a nice boost in diplomatic favor, as well as just generally hurting Protestantism, which seems to be the majority religion that I'm fighting against with my own religion at the moment. Let's grab ourselves another Inquisitor so that we can keep fighting the good fight. Medieval walls in Bactry because they will net me a little bit of tourism. We're starting to get a little bit of a tourism growth now. Place that holy site for future generations, but for now I'm probably going to get to work on the aqueduct and then the industrial zone to see if we can't get a little bit of production going on in this city. This city desperately needs a builder. I do have one in the area, but I'm not sure how much value I'm going to get from it. Right, time to convert Gordian. We'll swing you over there, get you inside the city, and there we go. We now have the boost for Reformed Church. Slowly but surely we are pushing back all enemy religions, and I'm very, very happy about that. Another archaeological work from Arabia, hopefully. There we go. Excellent. We got quite a few. I think that's actually our very first archaeological museum filled up. We'll be moving these around when the time comes. Time to place Shizuoka's holy site, I guess. I'll just plop it down for now while it works on the aqueduct and granary, because that's what the city needs. It just has no ability to grow. In fact, I'm going to help it out and purchase the granary just so it can grow a little bit and maybe start building some of its stuff a little bit quicker. I could steal this builder, but I would break the siege on Jerusalem. Well, maybe we'll grab it next turn. Hey, another artifact over here in the Congo. Brilliant. It's an amphora from the classical era, and I think that is our second place filled up. Can we cross-pollinate here? Well, we've got 2 classical artifacts here, so having both of them in the same place is good. Just looking for another classical artifact that is from a different civilization. I've got Mavemba and Alexander in the same spot, so I just need another one. Let's harvest the rice over here. That'll boost the population and push Lakavati. More importantly, it'll let us place down the Paradisa here next turn. Thank you so much for the free gifts. I appreciate it greatly. Even more. Brilliant. All right, we're taking some shots and... oh dear, where did that come from? Excuse me. We just got +1 air explore. Where did this musketman come from? Can somebody explain this to me? Well, I mean, it doesn't really matter because we can kill it in a single turn anyway. But let's go ahead and pop you back and finish that off. Start hammering this city the way it deserves to be hammered. We can't really take a shot with this bombard corps just yet. I don't have a great general to help out there. All right, let's take some more shots at this cavalry who just leveled up to laugh in my face. I'm going to see if I can just get more damage on him to maybe make him run away or at least fear for his life. Also grab ourselves a nice Paradisa here and delete this pin. We'll slowly start clearing things up. You can see here, this is making 3 culture per turn, which is about 3 tourism. Considering I don't have a religion, that's going to end up being a nice little boost for us. We did just finish conservation, and we are going to want cultural heritage at some point in the future, and we will be soon theming a thing. However, it's probably a good idea to get to work on the Cristo Redentor. I'd also like to get the Bolshoi Theatre, but I'm going to prioritize getting the Cristo Redentor because that'll make relics and holy cities not diminished by enlightenment, and it'll also make my seaside resorts better. Brilliant. So we just unlocked James Watt as the great person of choice. Now, I'm very, very excited about this, because I have the mausoleum at Halicarnassus. James Watt actually gets 2 charges. My factories will go from providing +6 production when powered to providing +10 production, because James Watt, when you use him, increases the amount of production they provide by +2. So that's almost, I would say, more than 50% increase. However, he has another effect. He also builds a factory and a workshop. So I'm going to go ahead and teleport him over to Ispahan and Tiahidrahia so that we can instantaneously build those buildings in these districts and help these cities out. And it basically represents, if we go in here and check this out, this is 200 production and this is 300. So by using this guy twice, not only am I getting just 1,000 production of instantly built buildings, I'm also getting an extra 4 production per turn from the factories that he does build. And you could make an argument that I should maybe get save him for over here when I finish this industrial zone, because that would help out all these cities up here that aren't currently benefiting from a factory. But I think it's just far more important to start getting value out of them immediately. We can always come back here and purchase these with money if we want. Right, let's get to work on an archaeological museum in here. Industrial zone finished. Well, we don't need to build these anymore, so let's go ahead and get the aqueduct. Although there is something to be said of improving the shrine and the temple. You know what? Let's go ahead and prioritize the shrine and the temple over anything else, because I don't make that much faith, so getting more is pretty important. Athens, I'm just going to get them to slowly build all the basic infrastructure stuff. I will prioritize ancient walls because that actually does generate tourism for me. Right, I'm feeling pretty safe. I don't need to save envoys for Antananarivo when I've got 6, so we can start looking at maybe getting suzerainty of someone else who might be helpful. Vilnius looks like a pretty good deal. I'm going to go ahead and put 3 envoys in Vilnius to take control of them, which will also give me a decent amount of culture boosted from their special ability. We're making up to nearly 300 culture per turn, which is putting us ahead of Greece now. However, they've generated more culture throughout the entire game, so even if we're making more right now, they still have way more domestic tourists than us. Gotta keep my eye out for these Protestantism units that I want to go pillage. Every single one of these basically represents a free 25 diplomatic favor that I can give to the AI. Speaking of giving diplo favor to the AI, let's go ahead and see if Arabia wants to give me a good deal on this diplo favor. They actually won't give me a good deal. I forget who it was that was giving me a good deal. Was it Japan? Yeah, it was Japan. So let's go ahead and give him all 90 of our diplo favor. There we go, 92 gold per turn, which basically doubles the amount of income I was making before that, which means we're going to have twice as much money, especially since this aid request is coming to a close. We're going to have to find new ways to make money. Looks like Japan is finally starting to get in on the action and has landed on Knossos, which is great. Maybe they'll soften the city up and make it easier for me to take. Let's see if we can convert AI gay. Not quite, but it is at least not a majority religion of another religion. I'll take that as a small victory. Another Paradisa for my collection. Brilliant. This will eventually be very, very useful in terms of winning the victory. Right now, it's just providing me with a little bit of culture. But in the future, it'll be worth a lot more. Finally managed to nab back the builder that privateer stole from me. Now we are in the Congo, so let's go ahead and gain sources with them to get a little bit better chance of actually succeeding in our missions against them. Another gift, thank you very much. And another gift from Japan as well. Wouldn't you know it that the turn that I give away a few of my envoys, Gorgo goes and steals Antananarivo instantly. So I'm going to have to go ahead and steal that back straight away because that's an unacceptable set of circumstances that I found myself in there. Let's go ahead and shoot this lad and then bring you up here to block him. And can you get in range for a shot? You can. Alright, brilliant. So we finished him off. We picked up a little bit of era score. And we're going to grab ourselves another golden age when the industrial era ends. Very happy about that. There's a random Arabic settler just floating around up here, which is a bit mad. But I think I've been recording now for about an hour and 20 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and chop this up for a full video on YouTube. I love you all very much. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.